products delivered to you via superb service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibbin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Ring, 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 back to school loan thing. Accel Finance help the joy of learning. Ring, 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 your future is bright. With the Accel loan help you get start right. Backpacks to uniform is on. Accel Finance will let them do success. No worries, no stress. We got your back better Accel loan and keep them on track. Ring, 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 back to school loan thing. Accel Finance help the joy of learning.
Accelerate your kids' education today with an Accel Back to School loan. Visit today or call us on 435-8222.
Ring, 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 back to school loan thing. Accel Finance help the joy of learning.
Infinite Contractors and Machinery. We are your one-stop engineering and consultancy company with experience locally, regionally, and internationally. We provide excavation services and engineering consultancy, construction of residential and commercial structures, civil works such as drainage, retaining walls, roads, concrete patio services, paving services, concrete driveway services, remodeling and renovation, painting services, styling services, and so much more. Ask about our rental services of excavators, heavy equipment, metal formwork, and steel prop. Contact us today via telephone number 537-9675 or email infinitecontractors19@gmail.com.
All right, and of course we got to say hello and welcome to another Mikey Live program. My name is Mikey Hutchinson and I am happy to be back with you for another day. This is where it all happens. We're talking about the news, the good, the bad, and the Mikey. What is everyone talking about? What's happening in Grenada and the other parts of the world? I can tell you I'm very excited to report that we've got Grenadians who are starring out there right now, Lady Natty and Tunda, at little music awards. I think they just did their performance. And then we have some of our sportsmen out there raising our flags even higher. We've got so much to talk to you about. The Ministry of Education, they had a press conference today talking about what can be expected for the new school year. We are going to be talking about that in a moment. So brace yourselves. All right, we'll be back shortly. Don't forget the headlines brought to you through the kind compliments of Courts Grenada Limited, Digicel Nawasa, Real Value, IGA Supermarket, Superb Distributors, Infinite Contractors, and we also have the Accel Finance on board with us. So thank you to all our sponsors, folks. And of course, remember, someone sharing tonight's program will receive some free credits. Compliments, Digicel. That lucky person, a small man, might just be you.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via superb service. We are Infinite Contractors and
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen, Guess and Klein and G-Shock, all at the best prices in Grenada. We also buy scrap gold and offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit our brand new remodeled store or call us on telephone number 414-3114, 232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
Labor Day Sunday, September 1st, there is one event you must attend. One event that brings the Caribbean together. Brooklyn, New York. Get ready as YTM Records presents Party Bar.
From my rich inside this session, I don't carry
the biggest event going down Labor Day weekend at Legacy Low, 9302 Ditmas Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Get ready for Mr. Legs, Problem Child, Mr. Killer, Moto, Denise Belfort, Telephone, Talprey, Lunispark and Electrify, Slaughter, Inspector and Randy Isaac, Dev and much more. Together with 3 big surprise guests, hosted by Big Pumps HD and Viceman Redman, with a crazy DJ lineup: Rigo Suave, Elegant Sound, Naughty Vibes, Red Asylum, DJ RLM, 10 Speed and DJ Skywalker. Tickets $50 at partybad.frontlineticketing.com. More at the door. Doors open from 9 p.m. So get there early. It's Party Bad, the event at Legacy Loft, 9302 Titmus Avenue, Brooklyn, New York.
Okay, so folks, we have to say welcome back to another Mikey Live program. Those of you who are on YouTube, I never thought I'll live to see the day when YouTube is taking over Facebook in terms of views. I guess as much people are more comfortable hiding their identity when viewing, for whatever reason. But it is what it is. Today we heard from the Ministry of Education. And of course, people wanted to know what was happening with regards to schools. What is going on with schools on the northern side of the island, schools that were affected, schools that are being used as shelters, etc. From the Minister of Education this morning, he said that all schools are expected to, on the mainland, open as normal on Monday.
And loss of loved ones, and even our brothers and sisters in Carriacou and Petit Martinique who have, and in northern parts of the island, who have had more significant loss and damage than most others. But I'm happy to report on the Ministry of Education's readiness for the reopening of schools, scheduled for the Monday, 2nd September 2024. So I am happy to announce that all schools on the mainland are scheduled to be reopened on Monday, September 2nd, 2024. Pending no unforeseen occurrence or circumstance, all schools on the mainland are scheduled to be reopened on Monday. We have had 2 schools on the mainland to the northern part of the island that experienced significant enough damage, those of MacDonald College and the SDA Comprehensive. We are happy to report that the repair works at the SDA Comprehensive School are just about complete, and the school will in fact be ready for complete reopening on Monday. So we are happy, and commendations to our contractors and the ministry's team for working steadfastly to ensure that the repair work was done there and completed in time. At the MacDonald College, the need for repair was a lot greater. The damage was in fact a lot more significant, and after the assessments, quite a bit more work has to take place. Notwithstanding that, there is going to be reopening in some form of phased or scheduled rotating way at the MacDonald College.
Our permanent secretary for school administration
has been in touch with the principal there, and I will invite him to share the latest updates as to what might work out for MacDonald College and what has happened so far.
All right, so we're going to have that in a later report. So from the minister himself, you have heard it, that schools are going to be opening as per usual on Monday. Congratulations to those of you who are heading over to a new school, those of you who are heading over to a new class. It's going to be a new environment. Be open-minded, adapt, adjust as necessary, okay? Good. Okay, so the next thing I'm super excited about is that we've got Grenadians who are starring right now at the Caribbean Premier League. It's what we call the biggest party in sports. Happening now in Antigua, the opening games between the Antigua, a new team from Antigua, and the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. Now for the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, my excitement has to do with the fact that Andre Fletcher is the captain of the team. They are playing the opening match right now. Him and Ryan John are both from Grenada playing on the Patriots team for St. Kitts and Nevis. Grenada doesn't have a team, so we have the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. So that's what we're doing right there now. Andre's doing a fine job captaining the team. And then there's Teddy Bishop. So we've got Ryan John, Andre Fletcher, both on the Patriots team, and then there's Teddy Bishop, who is playing for Antigua. All right, Teddy opened the batting for Antigua. He was out for one, gave too much of his wicket, and he was bowled. But that's okay. All right, that's his debut match. Of course, he's going to learn pretty quickly what the environment is like, and he's going to adjust accordingly. So congratulations. Join me, folks, in congratulating the Grenadians who are out there doing their thing. We also expect to see Kirani James in action tomorrow. It is? Yes, man. I think somewhere around after 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Kirani James. Oof. It's likely that he's going to run out of lane 3. Okay. If I get any change in terms of the time for his race, I'll tell you guys. All right. But yeah, boy. In the Diamond League. Yep. It's in Rome. That's gonna be happening tomorrow. So, let's wish him all the best. And there are some other Grenadian athletes out there doing their thing. We have to say congratulations to them as well. Oh, what else do I have to tell all you about, boy? 9 students have received back-to-school vouchers courtesy of the Grenada Investment Migration Agency, IMA Grenada. I keep having to remind myself, when you see IMA, the Citizen by Investment Program, that's what it is called, CBI, they have been rebranded, and their new name is the Grenada Investment Migration Agency, IMA. The students reportedly won the vouchers by participating in an online promotion that required them to like, share, follow, and tag friends on the agency's social media platform. Now, the prizes include $500 vouchers from various suppliers, and the grand prize. They had grand prize on thing too, you know. Yes, they got a grand prize of an iPad for one student. Nice. So it wasn't bad at all. So big up to all the winners and things like that. Also, the Grenada Football Association, they have started a 3-day workshop aimed at youth and grassroots coaches. Now, the workshop, which is being staged at the association's secretariat, runs through to Saturday. The workshop is being facilitated by English professional football manager Nigel James, along with 3 other English coaches. All right, so it is hoped that this is going to, aid in the development of those who are participating in that workshop. All right, social media over the past 24 hours has gone on another level with reports of abuse from many persons speaking out about relationship abuse, bullying, and all that sort of thing. You know, there's so many of that happening, and unless people speak out, you really don't get the true picture of the nature of this thing, or the prevalence of abuse, of bullying, and so there's one particular case where this young lady, she was stating that her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, who she shares a child with, beat her up, cuff her in her face and stuff like that. And you have many people sharing their opinion on this. And it is crazy that people who you're supposed to be in love with, people who you're supposed to share your bed with for, and life with, as happy moments, will turn out to be the same ones who will hurt you. You know, and sometimes the love that exists is genuine. So you love somebody who hurts you, but you do not want to leave them because you're telling yourself that, they're acting out of rage or something else in their childhood that they might be acting out. So, and you try to make them a project and fix them. So that is why sometimes people stay in some of those relationships. But the reality is there are some things that are broken that just cannot be fixed. You hear me? Some things that are broken just cannot be fixed, and it goes both ways. There are, as much as you might be hearing, women being abused by men, men are also being abused by women, and then we must have a platform. And I know the Ministry of Social Development, they've been trying their best to find ways of having forums and things like that to share information with regards to gender-based issues, gender-based violence and prevention. But there's only so much an organization can do. I think that we also have have a responsibility, you understand, to educate our family, educate our members, and not just us as individuals, be the best partner that we can be. What is your excuse? And some people say that, oh, they grew up in abusive relationships, or they come from abusive families, so that's their excuse for being abusive as well. That's not, I don't know that I can accept that, because at the end of the day, you control the time you brush your teeth, yeah? You control the time you have a bath. You could also control your emotions. You control yourself, despite what your experiences were. You see, it is not automatic that the things that you've experienced in your life that you'll create an experience, the same experience for others. I see it as an excuse, a flimsy excuse at that. You understand? So come on, man. And if you grew up in an abusive household, that's all the reason for you yourself not to be abusive, because I'm sure it wasn't pleasing to you. Huh? Was it? So if something was not pleasing to you, how is it that you become the perpetrator of things that you yourself never liked? That's why I'm telling you, it's a flimsy excuse for me. You yourself never liked it, but then you become the perpetrator of it and do it to somebody's family. Give me a break. So, for those of you who might be living in these relationships, I can't tell you that it is easy, but you can make it. Because it wasn't crazy, but I have experienced, abusive relationships myself. I've seen it, I've heard of it, and I've seen many people. I've seen many people who have made it, who come out of abusive relationships and are doing okay. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes it can end in death. So as much as you might want to stay, you would know when it's time to get out. And if your time has arrived, then wait no longer. When it's time to move, it is time to move. Ladies, stop abusing your boyfriends, your husbands. And abuse is not just physical, but it can be emotional. There are so many different forms of abuse, and it's not only always doing things, but omitting, failing to do things as well can be some degree of some form of abuse. Men, stop abusing your girlfriends and your wives and so on, because at the end of the day, they came to you for comfort. They came to you for security. They came to you for love. They came to you for care, for compassion, for empathy. And you giving them the opposite, that's the highest level of betrayal one can betray someone, in my humble opinion. All right? And that is my take on this whole situation. I think I'd like to take a break right now and come back. There is a system, by the way, that is being monitored by officials in the region that is likely to affect the Lesser Antilles pretty soon, well, in a couple of days. So, well, actually two systems. A tropical wave. Oh, let me see. I wonder if I could. Let me just quickly get that for you, okay, guys? Yeah. Let me just quickly get that for you here. 29. Yeah, because it's important Okay. Yeah, so we are getting ready for a very intense September. We're talking about weather-wise, and authorities are warning or advising that there are two systems. Here we go. That should be looked at closely. So firstly, for the central tropical Atlantic, the tropical wave over the central Atlantic continues to produce disorganized showers and thunderstorms that have become a little more concentrated near its axis. Environmental conditions appear conducive for gradual development of this system, and a tropical depression could form by early next week while it moves westward at 10 to 15 miles per hour, approaching the Lesser Antilles. Now, the system is then forecast to continue moving westward to west-northwestward across portions of the eastern and central Caribbean Sea by the middle part of next week. So the formation chance through a 48-hour period is about 10%, and the formation chance through a 7-day period is medium to about 50%. So that's the system you're seeing on the screen with the label 1. So you see the X and the 1, and you see a 10% there. That's the system that we should firstly monitor. And right behind that, another tropical wave is just emerging off the coast of Africa and is currently associated with an area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Some slow development of this system is possible through the middle portions of next week, and that will continue as it moves slowly to the west-northwest or northwest over the eastern tropical Atlantic. So the formation chance through a 48-hour period is low at 0%, and the formation chance through a 7-day period is low at 20%. These systems require some attention, and so we will monitor and give you updates as necessary. So now we are taking a break. Family, we'll be back shortly. When we come back, we have the national report and the weather. Stay tuned, we'll be back.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via superb service. We are superb distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love. Like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Ring, 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 back to school learn thing. Accel Finance help the joy of learning. Ring, 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 your future is bright. With the Accel loan help you get started right. Backpacks, the uniform is on. Accel Finance will let them do success. No worries, no stress. We got your back better Accel loan and keep them on track. Ring, 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 back to school learn thing. Accel Finance help the joy of learning.
Accelerate your kids' education today with an Accel Back to School loan. Visit today or call us on 435-8222.
Ring, 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 back to school learn thing. Accel Finance help the joy of learning.
Infinite Contractors and Machinery. We are your one-stop engineering and consultancy company with experience locally, regionally, and internationally. We provide excavation services and engineering. Affordable quality products delivered to you via superb service. We are superb distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love. Like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Ring, 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 back to school loan thing. Accel Finance help the joy of learning. Ring, 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 your future is bright. With the Accel loan, help you get started right. Backpacks to uniform is on. Accel Finance will let them to success. No worries, no stress. We got your back at the Accel loan and keep them on track. Ring, 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 back to school loan thing. Accel Finance help the joy of learning.
Accelerate your kids' education today with an Accel Back to School loan. Visit today or call us on 435-8222.
Ring, 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 back to school loan thing. Accel Finance help the joy of learning.
Infinite Contractors and Machinery. We are your one-stop engineering and consultancy company with experience locally, regionally, and internationally. We provide excavation services and engineering consultancy, construction of residential and commercial structures, civil works such as drainage, retaining walls, roads, concrete patio services, paving services, concrete driveway services, remodeling and renovation, painting services, styling services, and so much more. Ask about our rental services of excavators, heavy equipment, metal formwork, and steel prop. Contact us today via telephone number 537-9675 or email infinitecontractors19@gmail.com.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches, and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen, Guess, and Klein, and G-Shock, all at the best prices in Grenada. We also buy scrap gold and offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays, 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit our brand new remodeled store or call us on telephone number 414-3114, 232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
Anywhere at any time and have it delivered to you right here in Grenada at yogo.gd.
Labor Day Sunday, September 1st, there is one event you must attend. One event that brings the Caribbean together. Brooklyn, New York, get ready as YTM Records presents Party Bar.
From my rich inside this session, I don't carry
the biggest event going down Labor Day weekend at Legacy Low 9302 Ditmas Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Get ready for Mr. Legs, Problem Child, Mr. Killer, Moto, Denise Belfon, Talprey, Lunis Park and Electrify, Slaughter, Inspector, and Randy Isaac, Dev, and much more. Together with 3 big surprise guests, hosted by Big Pumps HD and Viceman Redman, with a crazy DJ lineup: Rigo Suave, Elegant Sound, Naughty Vibes, Red Asylum, DJ RLM, 10 Speed, and DJ Skywalker. Tickets $50 at partybar.frontlineticketing.com. More at the door. Doors open from 9 p.m. So get there early. It's Party Bar, the event at Legacy Love 9302 Ditmas Avenue, Brooklyn, New York.
This is the GIS News for Thursday, August 29th, 2024. I am Rikisha St. Louis. In the headlines, repairs in some schools still on the way, but Ministry of Education says it is ready for the new term. We'll have details to this story and more when we return.
We're excited to introduce our new digital school uniform assistance program designed to make shopping for school supplies easier for you. In this video, we'll guide you through the simple steps to use your QR code grant voucher for school supplies and uniform products. So, let's get started. Successful recipients will receive a text message and/or email from our processing provider, WePay. Applicants who do not receive a text or email can contact the Ministry of Education's Student Support Services Unit to find out if their application was successful. Applicants who receive a text or SMS message should have the following link on their phone. Please note that this is a text message and not a WhatsApp or other messaging services type communication. This is an example of what the text or SMS message will look like. Please note that you will need internet access to click the link in the text message to view your QR code. We highly recommend that you take a picture or screenshot of this QR code in the event that you do not have internet access while shopping. This is what the QR code will look like. For recipients who received an email, the format is quite similar, and this is what that email will look like. Please check for an email from support@wepaytoday.com. Please check your email's junk or spam folder, as this communication may accidentally go to those folders. Once you receive your QR code, you can immediately begin shopping at the designated stores for your school supplies. To know the designated shopping areas in your community, you may contact the Student Support Services Unit at the Ministry of Education.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Education says it is ready for the reopening of schools on Monday, September 2nd, although some preparations are still underway in the form of repairs to schools which became necessary following Hurricane Beryl. At a press conference on Thursday morning, Minister for Education, Senator the Honorable David Andrew, accompanied by Permanent Secretary for the Education Administration Department, Aaron Francois, and the Student Support Services Director, Pearson Stroud, informed the public of developments in several key areas. These areas included the reopening of school on mainland and Carriacou and Petite Martinique, the School Supplies and Uniform Assistance Program, psychosocial support, e-books and devices, extension of the mandatory school age, support packages for TAMCC and NULO students from Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and efforts to improve literacy and numeracy levels.
There will be a delayed reopening of school in Carriacou and Petite Martinique. While I did say that we were targeting September 2nd in the last press conference, we were being optimistic, we were pushing for that, but there are a number of reasons why we could not achieve this target. And among those reasons, we recognize that some of the schools are still being used as shelters.
Approximately 75 people are still using these facilities. The Ministry of Education is working with NADMA and the Ministry of Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs to resolve this. Minister Andrew says the recently passed supplementary budget is expected to assist those people, along with other support measures by government, to repair or rebuild their homes.
Work has started on some of the schools. Bishop's College, we know that the work is ongoing. Hillsborough Secondary, we know that work is ongoing. So we are confident that a lot of things are happening. There have been some delays with start in some schools, but we are going to look carefully and engage stakeholders in Carriacou and Petite Martinique over the next week or two. So we envisage in the first instance a further 2-week delay, within which period we will carefully monitor and analyze the progress which is steadily being made, and we will advise subsequently of a more definitive date for reopening.
In Grenada, the MacDonald College and Montrose SDA School were the two main schools damaged by Hurricane Beryl.
We have had two schools on the mainland to the northern part of the island that experienced significant enough damage, those of MacDonald College and the SDA Comprehensive. We are happy to report that the repair works at the SDA Comprehensive School are just about complete, and the school will in fact be ready for complete reopening on Monday. So we are happy, and commendations to our contractors and the ministry's team for working steadfastly to ensure that the repair work was done there and completed in time. At the MacDonald College, the need for repair was a lot greater. The damage was in fact a lot more significant, and after the assessments, quite a bit more work has to take place. Notwithstanding that, there is going to be reopening in some form of phased or scheduled rotating way at the MacDonald College.
When the assessment was done on MacDonald College, it was estimated, the work that was estimated to be done was far more when the actual work started on site. When the contractor went on the roof, particularly the auditorium area that suffered the greatest damage, and that area that houses approximately 4 classes, they realized that the whole roof had to be replaced. And so for school reopening in MacDonald College, school will reopen, but it would, priority would be given first to Form 4 and Form 5 on Monday, and Form 1 will also report on Monday. The other forms are going to be rotated. The 2s and the 3s would be rotated. And so the principal would inform the students accordingly as it relates to how the rotation would operate for the other forms.
We have one other adjustment in that the Limes preschool, that school is undergoing a relocation because there has been the need for reconstruction and major reconstruction work at that facility, and so the school is going to be successfully relocated in time for Monday 2nd. So notwithstanding the team's need to move to get things relocated, the team was busy facilitating that within the last week. So we are confident that on Monday 2nd, even that school will be relocated. We were in touch with the staff, we were in touch with the school officials there to work along with the ministry team to make sure that that happens.
Additionally, the 44 schools which have been used as hurricane shelters are now being cleaned and sanitized in preparation for the reopening of schools. Meanwhile, TAMCC students will be accommodated at the Grenada campus in the immediate future and will receive a 1-year support package from government.
We did have some consultation with education officials in Carriacou when we had a visit, I think it was in July. But when we revisit, we recognize that it's going to be pretty challenging given the state of repairs, infrastructurally, network-wise, and to have a blended approach, which we were contemplating at one point, to use internet facilities. But even one of the networks remained completely down on the island. So we still have to monitor and wait to see when most of those internet and online services will become more available to facilitate a blended approach even. So that becomes more of a challenge, and so the ministry felt it was going to be necessary to support students who are registered to TAMCC who want to come to the mainland to do studies at TAMCC or NULO by way of a 1-year support package. I repeat, a 1-year support package including accommodation, transportation, and some form of meal allowance. Now, the fine details of that will be worked out in collaboration with education officials from Carriacou, the TAMCC Council, and students registered and willing to come over to TAMCC or NULO. We were told preliminarily there are something about 30-something to 40 students who have expressed interest in TAMCC at Carriacou. But how many of those will come over, it's a question that will be left to be fine-tuned. But that package is available to persons.
27 families in Carriacou will benefit from new houses thanks to volunteers of a non-profit organization from Trinidad and Tobago. Hands That Serve will be constructing prefabricated, fully furnished 3-bedroom homes and with bathroom facilities and supplies. The members of the organization paid a preliminary visit to Carriacou where they looked at various sites as possible locations for the houses. Almost 95% of the housing stock on Carriacou and Petite Martinique was destroyed during the passage of Hurricane Beryl. Minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs and Local Government, Honorable Tevin Andrews, Minister for Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation, Honorable Andy Williams, and the Minister with responsibility for housing, Senator the Honorable Gloria Thomas, were part of the site's tour by the organization. Minister Thomas expressed appreciation for the assistance as the government continues to work with local, regional and international organizations to rebuild the Twin Island constituency of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Going back to developments in the Ministry of Education, Grenada's Minister for Education, Senator the Honorable David Andrew, says the ministry is addressing the low levels of literacy and numeracy among the nation's primary school students by piloting the use of interactive learning software in 7 schools on the island in the new school year. The 3 interactive software being used in the pilot schools are Nearpod, WordWall and ABCYA. Senator Andrew spoke to the intervention in literacy and numeracy at a Ministry of Education press conference on Thursday.
We are aware, though, that it is crucial to address those issues in the earliest levels of education. It's a waste of time, actually, or it's less effective to say, if we allow all the formative years to pass by and not address the fundamentals of literacy and numeracy, and then try to do all of these other programs when students are 12, 13, 14, 15, and up the road. A lot more time is wasted that way. A lot more resources are wasted that way. And so the ministry, being quite cognizant of that, the ministry is starting a pilot, and we can look forward to that, in about 7 schools to roll out interactive literacy and numeracy softwares in primary schools at the lower grades. This, we hope, falls well into the modality of the technologies that students are currently excited about. It's interactive, so students get to hear themselves, they get to interact with the material. The team has carefully reviewed, and they are piloting about 3 of those softwares with a view to have them rolled out to other schools once they're satisfied with the outcome at the end of the term.
1 school from each district will be included in the pilot phase, as well as 1 from St. Patrick and Carriacou and Petite Martinique. The ministry hosted a workshop on July 15th and 16th at the Anglican High School with 25 principals and IT teachers to introduce them to the 3 software that will be used in the pilot program in September. The GIS News will continue after the break.
If it's one thing we know for sure, life is an unpredictable journey, full of twists and turns, but no matter where it takes you, the National Insurance Scheme is here, ready to support you every step of the way. Sickness benefits ensures that you can focus on recovery, not financial stress. Maternity allowance and grant provides essential support to start your beautiful journey of parenthood. The unemployment benefits act as a safety net, giving you peace of mind during challenging times. Employment injuries can be daunting, but NIS provides comprehensive coverage, including injury benefit, medical expenses, disablement, and death benefits. At NIS, your well-being is priority. Now you can face challenges confidently, knowing that support is just a claim away. Contact us today to find out more about the range of benefits, or visit our website at www.nisgrenada.org.
Welcome back. Departments within the Royal Grenada Police Force are now more equipped to tackle cash seizure and recovery following the handing over of the cash forfeiture handbook and cash seizure policy by the Regional Security System on Wednesday. The Asset Recovery Unit in the Regional Security System RSS, in collaboration with financial analysts, experts and representatives of the Royal Grenada Police Force, compiled guidelines on effectively seizing and repurposing assets to weaken criminals and organizations. The handbooks outline clear steps to ensure effective, fair and transparent processes. Director of the Asset Recovery Unit, Keisha Sutherland, said the policy is a call for action for member states to support and advocate for the robust use of asset seizure to combat crime. Everyone has a part to play in the process.
It provides clear, actionable steps to ensure that we are not only effective, but we are also fair and transparent in all of our actions. It addresses the legal framework, the operational procedures, and also ethical considerations that are essential to conducting cash seizures in a manner that upholds the highest standards of justice. Whether you are a law enforcement officer, a prosecutor, a policy maker, or a member of the public, we all have a role to play in ensuring that crime does not pay. As we move forward, it is crucial that we continue to work together, sharing knowledge, resources, and best practices, as we are doing now. The fight against crime is not one that can be won in isolation. It requires a united front, and this guidance is a key part of that effort.
Director of Financial Intelligence Unit, Brandon Latouche, is excited for Grenada to reap the benefits of the now structured system. The aim is to be consistent.
This handbook has crystallized the various nuances and misconstrued conceptions into a singular tool, which harmonizes best practices and provides a user-friendly framework for all its interfaces. With this handbook, we are aiming for consistency in procedure, consistency in interpretation, and consistency in decision-making. The ultimate goal being to achieve a suitably high level of certainty within the asset recovery regime. So the aim is that no matter what arm of the RGPF they are, what rank seniority, everybody, all the members of the RGPF who would interface with cash will be following one set rules. And of course, so this complements the handbook, which the other stakeholders, the legal practitioners, members of the bench, judiciary, the FIU officers, other law enforcement officers who would use the handbook. The policy order and the force order is going to be a perfect complement to that.
For years, Grenada has been battling with cash and drug crimes, and although there were more recorded successes in drug seizures, Assistant Commissioner of Police Vanny Cohen is optimistic that heightened cash crimes will soon be a thing of the past.
Over the years also, we've grappled with having to follow various pieces of legislation, and I think the director of FAU went into that direction. And we have struggled with procedural issues, particularly within the RGPF on the issue of asset forfeiture. Now, I would know that very well because my responsibility is that of crimes. And so I know from where I speak. Now, we have had some successes in this regard, but in recent times, we have not been seizing as much cash as we would have liked to. In fact, in recent times, most of our seizures emanates from the drug trade between Grenada and St. Vincent, and so we have had some successes there, but we do know that there are large quantities of cash out there waiting to be seized. And today, it's a historic day in the sense that we now have a manual that will make the process smoother and more efficient in assisting law enforcement in embarking on the trend that we've always wanted to do, which is rid our environment of cash in a criminal sense from injuring our environment and our banking system. Today, we're happy to know that we have a procedural manual that would give effect to a smoother and more efficient approach to the subject, which is indeed a great tool in the hands of law enforcement.
The Ministry of Health received 10 pallets of medical supplies, compliments the AFIA Foundation on Thursday, as Grenadians in the diaspora continue to respond to citizens' needs following Hurricane Beryl's passage in July. Blossom Alexis Welsh has the details in this report.
About $40,000 worth of medical supplies arrived in Grenada on Thursday from the AFIA Foundation, which is expected to go toward providing support to Grenadians who were affected by the destruction of Hurricane Beryl. According to Minister of Health Honorable Philip Telesford, the supplies are another part of relief efforts by the Foundation, which also spearheaded the Bags for Life initiative in collaboration with GDAC and JetBlue Airlines.
This is a direct response to the Hurricane Beryl onslaught that we've had on the 1st of July. AFIA Foundation continues to partner with the government of Grenada to assist in providing medical supplies to the citizens throughout the length and breadth of the state of Grenada, including Carriacou and Petit Martinique, of course. And so we are very, very thankful for their contribution.
Having assessed and understood the local needs, the pallets contain items such as face masks, adult diapers, baby supplies, among other items.
Some of it, we believe, can be distributed via the health clinics around the island. And if you look around here, you'd recognize that we're cramped for space right now. Really, there is nowhere to put anything, both ourselves and NADMA, we are packed out. And so what we intend to do is to drop off some of these adult disposable underwear at the 36 clinics around the state of Grenada and Carriacou and Petit Martinique, so that residents can pick up a few for their loved ones who might be at home, and also at the home for senior citizens, because we know our senior citizens rely heavily on these goods, and so we want to do that, as well as those for female and so on.
An official inventory will be conducted by the Ministry of Health, and then island-wide distribution will take place.
It is a major contribution. We consider it to be a major contribution, especially at this time, where people would have otherwise had to spend to buy these items. Yeah, and especially our senior citizens who are retirees, really, and their loved ones are the ones caring for them. So it's less pressure on them now that we can have some of these items distributed free of cost.
Minister Telesford is encouraging organizations and groups near and far to continue to partner with government as the country continues its recovery efforts.
That is the kind of initiative we want to continue to do because we want to champion primary health care and encourage more of our citizens to utilize the clinics in the villages, you know, the medical centers, the health centers. We want them to utilize more of that. And so we want to be able to do more of these kind of giveaways, if you call it that, so that when they get there, they feel, you know, that somebody's looking after their needs, somebody is understanding what they want, and so we're responding to them in that manner. So it's not just about attending to your physical needs, but also to the social aspect of the needs of citizens.
Reporting for the Ministries of Health, Mental Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, I am Blossom Alexis Welsh.
Thank you, Blossom. Minister for Education, Senator David Andrew, expects minor changes with the dissemination of QR codes by the Student Support Services Unit through the School Supplies and Uniform Assistance Program to be addressed soon. The initiative provides support for parents and students for back to school through the dissemination of these special codes via text and emails. The codes can be used at approved vendors to purchase school items, but challenges arose as a result of blocked or wrong contact numbers.
That program has been going well, and to date we have probably over 2,500 applications uploaded to the system, with already over 2,000 codes distributed to parents who are now happily shopping across the island through the vendors to obtain school supplies and be ready for school.
Minister Andrew says public announcements will be made during the Hillary term to remind and inform parents of the application process. With regard to the improvement of ICT integration in schools, he explained that in addition to devices being supplied to students, the ministry will soon provide e-books of the texts that are on the book list on student-issued devices at the secondary level.
The procurement of physical books will be limited to a few areas. So we are focusing on mathematics, and we are happy to announce that the mathematics text that we are using is authored by a local author, Mr. Raphael Johnson, and that text is used in other territories around the region too. So we are actually procuring those physical copies to be distributed to schools. We are also procuring physical copies of our local Grenadian history text, and that's an area that has been of importance to us. That too is authored by a local author, Dr. Nicole Dow. It has been in circulation. Those are already procured and in circulation, and probably Mr. Stroud could confirm that. There are two other texts in the technical areas that we are procuring physical copies of, which will be distributed and available to students. The other books, or most of the other books, will actually be e-copies that reflect the titles on the book list. Now, we've been working closely with providers, service providers, and publishers to fine-tune what will be the exact model for making e-books available in keeping with those copies and the titles that are on the book list. I can assure you that e-books will be made available to students in short order, because we are in the final stages of organizing the rollout of it.
This is the GIS News. When we return, hundreds benefit from 1,000 Smiles Dental Project.
We're excited to introduce our new digital school uniform assistance program designed to make shopping for school supplies easier for you. In this video, we'll guide you through the simple steps to use your QR code grant voucher for school supplies and uniform products. So, let's get started. Successful recipients will receive a text message and/or email from our processing provider, WePay. Applicants who do not receive a text or email can contact the Ministry of Education's Student Support Services Unit to find out if their application was successful. Applicants who receive a text or SMS message should have the following link on their phone. Please note that this is a text message and not a WhatsApp or other messaging services type communication. This is an example of what the text or SMS message will look like. Please note that you will need internet access to click the link in the text message to view your QR code. We highly recommend that you take a picture or screenshot of this QR code in the event that you do not have internet access while shopping. This is what the QR code will look like. For recipients who received an email, the format is quite similar, and this is what that email will look like. Please check for an email from support@wepaytoday.com. Please check your email's junk or spam folder, as this communication may accidentally go to those folders. Once you receive your QR code, you can immediately begin shopping at the designated stores for your school supplies. To know the designated shopping areas in your community, you may contact the Student Support Services Unit at the Ministry of Education.
Welcome back. A Grenadian family is rejoicing that their daughter, who was born with cerebral palsy, has passed the CSEC subject Electronic Document Preparation and Management, or EDPM, with a grade 2. Samara Bonaparte, who attends St. George's Institute, wrote the exam in Form 1. It is a practice at the private school to allow students who show an aptitude for a subject to be given the opportunity to sit the exam before entering Form 5. Surana Mitchell reports that Samara's parents are elated to share the good news that showcases their daughter's abilities.
The exam?
Hard.
It was hard?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Hard is because I have to study a lot.
Samara Bonaparte is a 13-year-old teenage girl with cerebral palsy who did the CSEC electronic document preparation and management EDPM exam this year.
Samara has done CXC exam in EDPM. She's a 13-year-old student at St. George's Institute, and she was successful in that, defying educational odds and feet in attaining a grade 2.
And how do you feel about this?
It's an exciting period. It was a lot of work, it was challenging, but we gave her the opportunity and she was successful.
That's Hazel Bonaparte, mother of Samara. Bonaparte talks about the preparation process for the CSEC exam.
So whenever the content was taught at school, we did not wait on last minute. So we reviewed the content regularly. There are times when she would get frustrated, so I would give her breaks in between. The support at school was immense. She even had a supporting teacher from another school working with her on the SBA. So we did regular review.
The St. George's Institute students sat the exam in Form 1. It is a practice at the private school to allow students who show aptitude for a subject to be allowed to sit it before Form 5. Andrea Purcell is the EDPM teacher.
Samara as a student is very determined, she's very motivated. For example, if there's an assignment for her to do, she will ensure that it's done before the next class. So in essence, Samara is like an ideal student. Despite some of the challenges she may face, she takes the time to engage also in class.
Samara was diagnosed with cerebral palsy as a baby. According to the Mayo Clinic Online Communication, cerebral palsy is a group of conditions that affect movement and posture. It's caused by damage that occurs in the developing brain, most often before birth. Symptoms appear during infancy or preschool years and vary from very mild to serious. Children with cerebral palsy may have exaggerated reflexes. The arms, legs, and trunk may appear floppy, or they may have stiff muscles, known as spasticity. Symptoms also can include irregular posture, movements that can't be controlled, a walk that's not steady, or some combination of these.
Samara was medically diagnosed with cerebral palsy, secondary to severe jaundice. That's where you will have a high bilirubin level in the blood. The blood becomes toxic and it's very dangerous for the baby. Now this led to a lot of effects, side effects, and so that she has a speech disorder where producing certain songs, it may not come out clearly. However, she receives therapy, right, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and she gets that support in. She is also receiving support from school, where accommodations are being made based on her diagnosis and her academic profile.
As Samara grew up, she benefited from inclusive education as instituted by the Ministry of Education in 2007, with the introduction of students with visual and hearing impairment in mainstream schools. Samara started out at the St. Paul's Anglican Preschool and then on to the St. George's Seventh-day Adventist Primary, before now attending the St. George's Institute, which is a private school. Hazel Bonaparte, who is a teacher by profession, says having her daughter makes her more aware of other students' issues, which enables her to extend extra help to them.
So because I have that experience, I have a little special eye for these children. right? I would make the accommodations in my classroom through differentiating, maybe give the children brain breaks, as I would often give Samara. So their attention span, these children with challenges, their attention span is very short. So you will give them little breaks, you will use games, so different strategies to get them. I would even use some of Samara's therapy supplies and bring it to school to help my students.
Bonaparte encourages parents with children who have challenges to be supportive and surround themselves with a nurturing community.
So you must have a support team around you. You cannot do it alone. And giving up is not an option. You accept your child from birth and you work with the child. Never compare the child to anybody else. And use their progress as a motivator. So you're not looking for perfection in that child with challenge. You are looking at the progress they are making, right? Seek help, right? Seek help. Look for resources, online resources. Have that team around you, therapists, doctors, co-workers, family members, and they are going to rally around you so you can move ahead in helping that child.
As Samara prepares to start Form 2 in September, her mother wants Grenada to know that persons with disabilities should not be stared at and excluded, but be given opportunities and feel welcome.
So the community must be supportive. So it's like a triangle: home, school, community. And the community in regards to maybe their workplaces, they can be a little more accommodating, give them jobs, support them as they get older, even in giving a little scholarship. So they may look at a child and help a parent out in sending that child to obtain that inclusive education. Samara had the opportunity of gaining that from since preschool. And it's a blessing to have the children interact with each other. So the community can help. Do not stare at them. Do not pity them. All they want to do is to be accepted. So you can ask the parent a question if you want to get the story, but do not stay. Just include them in all activities.
Sarana Mitchell reporting.
Thank you, Sarana. Over 800 Grenadians have benefited during the first week of the 1000 Smiles Dental Project, which ran for 2 weeks and concludes on Friday. The initiative is a collaboration between Sandals Foundation and Great Shape Inc., a U.S.-based non-profit organization. Some of the services include cleaning, filling, fluoride extractions, and sealants. Oral health education is the focal point of the 1000 Smiles Clinic, or SEAL Grenada, with volunteers taking time to discuss and advise best practices to patients. Tooth decay is preventable with better education and discipline with regard to oral health by simply brushing teeth at least twice a day, flossing, and limiting consumption of sweets. Oral hygienist Leanne Rodden is pleased with the turnout and commended the interest parents are showing in preventative care. She said, and I quote, "From the children we saw last year in our sealant clinic, we found that 65% of them had visible decay in their teeth. That is a high percentage, and tooth decay is preventable. So I was very excited to see that so many parents brought their children to the clinic for sealants so as to help to prevent tooth decay," unquote. Local lead of the Kids Sealant program, dental surgeon Dr. Julie Dubois, is grateful and confident in the success of the program because of the assistance of the visiting volunteers to help reach their goal of at least 400 primary school children receiving sealants to help protect their smiles. And finally, the National Democratic Congress Support Group Toronto, Canada, has donated desktop computers, printers, and other equipment to the Child Protection Management Authority. Public Relations Officer at CPA, Donella Hostain, has more in this report.
The Child Protection Authority has been the recipient of some much-needed technical equipment valued at approximately $1,800 Canadian from the NDC Support Group Toronto. Speaking to the Public Relations Officer at the Authority was Michelle Nurse, Media Coordinator for the NDC Support Group Toronto.
We became aware of a need for at the CPA office for some computers, and so we sourced our resources to be able to provide 4 desktop computers and a printer.
Receiving the donations on behalf of the authority were Chairperson of the Board of Directors, Mrs. Cecilia Ann John, and Interim Managing Director Mrs. Lenise Paul. Both expressed gratitude to the organization for the donations, noting that it is something that the authority needs and will be put to good use. Nurse went further to say that the group is willing to help and keep the relationship with the authority going.
So we're honored to be able to support them as we have, and we're happy to continue the partnership and continue supporting as we find out of future needs. We also are, as I said, we're here to help the entire island and the tri-island state. So as we become aware of need, we are, as we become aware, we get together, we volunteer, fundraise, and pool our supplies to be able to provide the assistance as needed. And so we do intend to continue to offer those services.
Nurse briefly explained what the group does.
So the NDC Support Group Toronto is a group of Grenadians and Friends of Grenada in Toronto who are volunteering their time to provide support to the citizens of Grenada and the Tri-Island State. Our goal is to support and give back where we can and help the island.
The authority once again expresses gratitude to the NDC Support Group Toronto for their donation. Reporting for the Child Protection Authority, I am Public Relations Officer Donella Hostin.
Thank you, Donella. This is the GIS News. When we come back in sports, Olympic gold medalist Kirani James will be in action on the track on Friday, and TNT under 13 cricketers defeat Windward Islands under 13 at Lassages. After the break, Leslie and Johnson returns with the sports roundup.
I would like to tell nobody I love where I'm born. I come from the island. This place is so sweet, beautiful and
in Grenada, in St. John, in Guam.
I'm so proud to call you my home. Home sweet home, home sweet home, home sweet home. I'm so proud to call you my home. Home sweet home. We welcome you with open arms. I know that it's sweet, you never met people sweet, so this place is a paradise. It's a paradise. I know that it's sweet, I know you go sweet, Wait, come let we eat a island on the corner. Drink some coconut water. Head down to Ghana's beach and take a nice dip in the crystal waters. This place is so sweet, beautiful and unique. You see where I come from, known as this Spice Island, somewhere you vacation. I'm so proud to call you my home. Home sweet home, home sweet home, home sweet home. I'm so proud to call you my home. Home sweet home, home sweet home, home sweet home. Come, let we head to the part I'm from. The north side of the island.
And so we're here to celebrate our heroes, Kirani, Lyndon, and Anderson, for the tremendous inspiration that you have placed in the hearts and minds of the next generation of Grenadians.
Thank you to everyone. Your contribution, your prayers. Because it's so thank you. And a special shout out to the whole team that was there in Paris. Everyone did their job, incredibly. Especially the two medalists. To be honest, they inspired me.
Lyndon, could you please join us here at the podium?
Grenada's Olympic medalist Kirani James will be on the track at the Rome Diamond League on Friday. James, fresh from the Paris Olympics, will race with some of the world's best from 3:04 p.m. James and Paris Olympics bronze medalists Lyndon Victor and Anderson Peters were recently recognized by the government and people of Grenada for their exceptional performances at the recently concluded Games. Finding the best way to develop young footballers ages 7 to 18. That is the focus of a 3-day workshop being hosted by the Grenada Football Association at its secretariat in St. George's. The workshop, which runs until Saturday, targets youth and grassroots coaches. It's being facilitated by English professional football manager Nigel James, along with 3 other English coaches, Anthony Gill, Gwyn Berry, and Caroline Rudoni. Gill spoke to the purpose of their visit to Grenada.
We're so big on technique. You know, the technical execution, the familiarisation of a football, the ball at a child's feet, boys, girls, it's so important. And everything we're about as a company is all about ball familiarisation. And we're giving an insight into that over the next 3 days through a variation of sessions, also seminars, just trying to educate the coaches of Grenada of what we believe is the best way to develop young players.
That's England football coach Anthony Gill. One of the participants, physical education teacher Chiyuki Thomas, explained how he will benefit from the 3-day workshop.
Coming to this workshop, give me new ideas, new stuff for the new school town to install in the young students that I'll be teaching.
In cricket, Trinidad and Tobago under-13 cricketers beat their Windward Islands counterparts by 52 runs in the final game of their inaugural tournament at the Lassages playing field on Wednesday. The TNT under-13 team also won Game 2 on Monday, and the first match on Saturday was rained out. Wednesday's play was delayed due to a soggy outfield as a result of overnight rain, and as a result, the match was reduced to 30 overs. The Windward Islands under-13 won the toss and sent their counterparts in to bat. Trinidad and Tobago made 144 for 6 in 30 overs. The Windwards under-13, who needed 145 for victory, replied with just 92 for 10 in 27 overs.
This one lifted well. It goes for one. They're running, and he's going to be run out. Really not the way that you wanted the game to end, but Francois has been run out, looking to complete two. Really needed a bit more speed there. Thomas really turning pretty slowly, and the throw coming in and him finding himself short of his crease, bringing an end to this series. Game number 3 has been won by the Trinidad and Tobago under-13s.
Yeah, and deservedly so. They really would have played a better cricket show this tournament. You see that that run-out really looked on the card from the time they turned for the second. Francois have been very quick running into the wicket, so you run it by a long way. But credit must be given to the Trinidad and Tobago team. They played a better cricket. I think that, you know, all-round cricket, they would have played really well. We saw in terms of the cricket sense and the knowledge of the game, that was clearly seen in terms of how they played. And certainly they are deservedly winners of this tournament. And I think we can only learn. I think the winners team could only learn quite a bit from what they have seen in this tournament. Pleasing to see the support as making a point of the parents coming out, and they have been integral in terms of what has been happening to the players being selected. You could see the joy, you could see the support, and that goes all with the development of our cricket. The parents getting involved, and really is a key factor. And certainly it has been really an outstanding tournament, despite we had some rain. But we were able to have 3 matches being played. And I think more or less, besides the first game, I think we had a lot of cricket being played, and, you know, credit had to be given to both teams. The winners, I think, also need some credit in terms of trying to make sure something happened in terms of our development. And I do believe that this is going to kick off from here. We're probably going to see it happening in the rest of the islands, knowing that there's a return meaning that the winners will be going down to Trinidad probably in about a year time. So certainly there's a lot to play for. And even though they would have lost, but they don't need to keep their head low. But really, it's a lot of positive that came out of this tournament.
And finally, Grenada's right-arm leg spin bowler Afi Fletcher is included in the West Indies senior women's team, announced by Cricket West Indies, to participate in the highly anticipated ICC Women's T20 World Cup 2024. The tournament is set to take place from October 3rd to 20th in the United Arab Emirates, with the West Indies aiming to showcase their best talent on the global stage. A report from WindiesCricket.com states that the West Indies have been placed in Group B, along with Bangladesh, England, Scotland and South Africa. The report adds that the squad, led by Captain Hayley Matthews, features a mix of experienced players and promising talent, reflecting the depth and versatility of West Indies women's cricket. And that's the GIS Evening Sports. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. The Sports Roundup just ended the GIS news for Thursday, August 29th. A recap of the headlines. Repairs in some schools still on the way, but Ministry of Education says it is ready for the new term. And in sports, Olympic gold medalist Kirani James will be in action on the track on Friday. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Rikisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Rikisha and the rest of the GIS news team. And it is now time for the weather. We head over to the Met Office for that information. We can tell you that the weather is expected to be partly cloudy with brief light to moderate showers and a possible isolated thunder. Winds easterly to southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour, becoming variable to calm at times. Seas slight to moderate with waves 3 to 5 feet in open waters. That's the weather report. All right, and of course we told you earlier about the systems that we are monitoring. That ends tonight's news. Of course, we want to say thank you very much to those of you who are currently tuned in on YouTube. All the YouTubers always there. Boy, yes, I know. Belong. Well, blessings to you, of course. We're trying our best. I tell them, hey, all of that national report is too long. Let's see if we can get some change to that. But anyway. Big up to those of you who are still on. Marcus, Sarah, Jennifer, Glendon, Glenora, Junior, Elon, Mom, Julius, Laverne, and everybody else. Marcus, did I say Marcus? And of course, we want to also say big up to those of you who are on Facebook. So we're talking about the sharing committee headed by Javan, the entire crew. I know, boy, I know. Good night to you, Carlisle, Barbara, Ansha, blessings, Brenda, Diana, Bernadette, Jean, Pearl, who else? Veronica, Monet, how are you? Karen, what's going on? Karen, Adonna always there. Veronica always there. Barbara, all of the names that I've just called, they're always there. So blessings to you guys. Take care of yourselves. See you guys tomorrow, God's willing. Same time, same place. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say, Ja, no. Or Java say, Lord Mikey Hutchinson, this NR and its long pants be killing us, eh? I know. Don't worry, something will work out. Take care, guys. Take care. E long. E too long. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say, Ja. No. Take care.